Who was the president when you became a realtor?
I'm sure that when I kind of got interested in it and started, taking the classes and that, it was probably the Johnson Ford era, but I know for sure I was licensed in 76 or before, so that would have been Jimmy Carter.
That's a polite way of saying, how long have you been in real estate?
A long time, 36 years plus.
Do you remember about what the going interest rate was at that time?
In 76, it wasn't that bad. It was about 8 or 9%, but in 82, that's when I came to Alaska because the interest rates had, they were almost like usury at that time. They were like 15, 14%, and so we did a lot of creative financing back then.
Then what prompted you to move to Alaska?
The economy.
Really? In what way? What do you mean?
Because I was a realtor, and our family was in construction, and, both of those were tied to the interest rates and that. And I already had a nephew up here who was working for a big construction company, and he said, come on up. And so we did, but it seems like everybody almost has to have that anchor to get you up here. I mean, somebody that you know so that you're not just, out there floundering somewhere. But
Fairbanks was your first stop? That's where your nephew was?
Absolutely, Fairbanks, yep.
And you've been there ever since?
Ever since. Love it.
Now, over the years, you've been in, you just admitted, 36 years. I wasn't going to ask, but 36 years in real estate. How are buyers today different, Joni, than when you started selling real estate? Or are they? Are they even different? Maybe they're not.
Buyers are absolutely different because they're a lot more savvy now because they have more, technology. I mean, when you go online to Realtor.com or independent website, you almost feel like you've been through the house. So, they can pick and choose, and which kind of in some ways saves us time because you don't have to. I can remember way back when somebody says, I want to see everything that's out there, and I go, well, luckily I've seen them for you, that kind of thing. And I think they shop around for interest rates and, different programs, so, that's a good thing.
That is a good thing. What about buyer objections? Do you find that they're pretty much the same thing you heard 36, 30, 25 years ago?
I think the new one's coming up now, and I try to stay positive about everything, but gosh, the price of heating oil and just gas to get to work and the fuel charge on our electricity, it's like prohibitive to, when you're figuring, I guess my thought would be, thank goodness we have low interest rates, but if they ever raise the interest rates, it's just going to, become unbalanced to be able to, afford that. So I'm really, proactive on getting something done on getting some affordable, sustainable energy.
Well, let's talk about your impending presidency. You are the president-elect. Do you have some big plans or goals set out for us for next year?
Mainly, it's just like I want to continue, being like the people who have been there before me, leading a good, strong pack of people, I guess is what I'd want to say. I want to make sure that we keep our industry going and positive and get good education started, and that's kind of my goal. I'm also an RPAC trustee, which, is like wearing two hats at one time, and so I'm very, very interested in, making sure that we get involved in, and that's our Realtor Political Action Committee, because now is our time to be the, I say the eyes, ears, and voice of what we're involved in. It's like we help communities. We don't just help a buyer or just help ourselves. It's kind of a widespread thing that I'm doing with that. We have a new website, and it's getting better every day. There's things that you can catch online, like the podcast. So all of those things are just kind of in my mind's eye, and I'm, going to be a shadow to Helen Jarrett to see, what she does so that I, take the same positive steps forward. So.
And somebody's got to stay on top of Sandy's every move.
Oh, yes, she is. She is absolutely, just so unpredictable. No, she is the glue that holds us all together. And the main thing is, it's like people have to remember that these are volunteer jobs. And I guess that's, what inspires me when I first went to my, like you said, you were president in '06 and I was board president here. And when I saw all the people and what they were doing and had been doing, and I was kind of like blind to all that because I was just so busy in the local MLS committees and that, it really was an eye-opener for me.
Well, after this many years in the real estate business, how do you, Joni, stay motivated in the face of, uncertainty every day or rejection that you surely will get from buyers or sellers in any given day? How do you stay motivated and on top?
You just have to think positive. I mean, it's like you're guided by your thoughts, and if you have good thoughts, you will have good results. And waking up in the morning is like a positive thinking. No. What motivates me, I believe in God, and I'm not trying to make this a religious thing, but I do have a book called God Calling by A.J. Russell, and I love Norman Vincent Peale's Power of Positive Thinking. I took the Dale Carnegie course, which absolutely stays with you for life.
Did you take that Dale Carnegie course there in Fairbanks, or did you take that outside?
Yankton, South Dakota, right? It was actually what made me get into real estate, because several people, that I met there said, "Oh, you've got to get into real estate," and I was like, I did, and I mean, there's just so many common sense things that you learn in that class, like do not criticize, condemn, or complain, and only give sincere praise, and the sweetest sound to a person's ears is his name, and you just keep that stuff in mind, and it's like it stays with you forever.
For anyone new to the real estate business, Joni, or perhaps maybe even right now listening to this, or is currently in a real estate career and thinking about changing and getting out of real estate, do you have any words of encouragement?
I guess that's kind of a two-sided question. For the people that are in real estate, I would stay in, because everything, comes back around, and if it's really meant to be your career, you will know. I mean, it's like my feeling is, sometimes I say if I was independently wealthy, I would do this for free, because there's such satisfaction in helping people find that home that is going to be their place where they make memories, and it's you're part of that, and you become people, the friends. I mean, it's like when you get up here and know nobody, it's like now I have all these friends, and they're basically prior clients, customers, or whatever. We're lucky in Alaska, because our market is not slammed like in some of the other states, because I believe we really did have good lenders and good lender vehicles, how they, there was no predatory lending ever happening here. So we don't see near the foreclosure rate that's like in California and Nevada and other areas. So I guess, if it's a little slow right now, just hang in there, do your job. And my thinking is if you do it honestly and from your heart and all that, you're going to be a success. I always feel like, I hope I never walk down, at that store and see somebody that go, oh crap, that's them. I'm always feeling fortunate when somebody comes up and says, hi, how are you doing? And I have to think, who is that now? But I know they were a client, but they remembered me, and I thought that was kind of a good feeling.
Absolutely. And let's touch on somebody thinking about getting into the business. You're that person at the Dale Carnegie course encouraging somebody that's thinking about it, or that you think would be an inspired realtor or successful realtor. What do you say to them?
I help teach the indoctrination class, and in kind of the same venue, it's like if it's meant to be for you, go out there and do it and listen and learn. I know when I started out, I called lenders and tried to get information. I just wanted to soak it all up and know. And if you don't know an answer, don't fake it. Go to your broker or go to somebody that does know, and go back to your client and say, well, I don't know that answer now, but I'll get it for you. And then make sure that you actually do that, and you're going to be a success. Not everybody, it's not for everybody, but you kind of know people that are outgoing, and they say a born salesman, but the personality kind of has to be there too, that you do listen and follow through and are responsible. And
can I ask you where the name of your company, Heartland Realty, came from?
Yes, I'm from the Midwest. I'm from the heartland of America, Nebraska. That was my thought. And I always I tell my children on anything, I never tell them what to do. I tell them, follow your heart. And if you follow your heart and you have a good heart, you're not going to go wrong. And, of course, I'm from Nebraska, and my color is black and red and white, and that kind of ties in with Go Big Red.
All right, Go Big Red. Well, it's been my pleasure and an honor to interview you as our March featured realtor for the podcast. Thank you, Joni Schneider.
Okay, thank you, Chris.